Welcome to another episode of the Mark Jackson Show. I'm Mark Jackson. This is my dynamic co-host, my guy, Bluu, going to come and talk to me networking. What an exciting day of basketball. Two of my former teams had huge victories, led by the point guard position. The New York Knicks with Jalen Brunson, Indiana Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton. A special, special day with big-time performances. What you think about today, Bluu?
It's a big day, but you're just going to skim over the fact of what we just watched? We just watched the new man on the scene just step on the scene. What you mean? We're going to talk about the Knicks first. No. We got to talk about Ant-Man first and the fact that the Suns is out of here. They on their way to Cancun. They going,
Where they on their way to?
You going to make me do that again? I only got one of those.
I mean, you got the raincoat on. You was ready for the rain, so I thought it never rains in Southern California.
No. You see, I threw this on tonight because I'm the custodian. I came to you know, I'm the groundskeeper, man. I got to get this time for this. Get the Suns, get out of here. There was a little too many Kevin Durant's and Devin Booker's on the scene, Bradley Beal. It's time I got to clean up the scene. Me along with Ant-Man and the Timberwolves. Get them out of here, man. It's time for the family. I might double with this jacket as the boat, as the captain or something. You don't know. I might watch family step in on the left side. Welcome to Cancun. Be careful. There's sharks in the Gulf of Mexico. You know, I'm in my bag. I'm just not gonna let you skim over what we just saw, man.
Can I get a timeout?
Yeah. What's up?
Can we pay some bills?
Oh, snap. My bad. You're right. Let's pay some bills. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code in the corner. It'll take you right to the site and play the pick'em game. That's our favorite. Now that you got me simmered down. Oh, man. What was your question now? Something about the Knicks? We're going to get to that.
No, you're talking about Ant and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay. No, because in our intro, you were saying something about great point guards and Jalen Brunson. First off, I never seen you go get 47 in the playoffs. So you putting yourself with Jalen Brunson. You relax, man.
Shots fired. I didn't say it was Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Halliburton. I showed them love, gave them props, and I said I used to play the position that they are currently holding and holding it with awfully impressive results.
Yeah, I'm messing with you, Pops. You don't got to explain, man. I'm joking.
I'm not sensitive. Don't worry about it.
All right. I mean, I didn't say it. Her dog will bark. All right, man. So, like I said, we're going to start off with that game that we just watched. We saw Ant-Man step up and just finish the Suns. What did you see? I don't even know what question to ask, but I'm going to just start off with this. What did you see from this game?
I saw a young, hungry, competitive, finishing mentality basketball team in the Minnesota Timberwolves, not playing with their food. They made a determination that they were going to put the Phoenix Suns out, and they did just that. Ant-Man, I believe, had 9 points early, and then all of a sudden took over this basketball game. Played with an edge. They put the ball in his hands. He controlled it as a scorer. I love the mentality that he's not just thinking score, gets guys involved off the penetration into the paint area, kicking it out for threes or open shots. He won the battle on his own terms against this. This is something he'd be able to tell his grandchildren. I beat Kevin Durant. I beat Devin Booker. I beat Bradley Beal. I beat the Phoenix Suns. And I didn't just beat them. I led my team to sweeping them. It's something he'll be able to hold on to for a long time to come. Awfully, awfully impressive. 40 points in a closeout game on the road is things that legends are made of.
Yeah, and in your example just now, when you spoke, he might call Bradley Beal Badly Beal because that's how bad he plays tonight. This was a tough game to watch coming from Bradley Beal. I'm looking and seeing dudes that were superstars struggling in this series. What does it say about just the grit and the defensive talent of the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Playing in so many playoff games in my career, it boils down to teams gaining a rhythm and being hot. And I would still say that Kevin Durant, Devin Booker are superstars, I just think they ran into a superstar that was clicking on all cylinders and had the right mindset, the right supporting cast, the right game plan to sweep them. And it was a disappointing exit for the Phoenix Suns, individually and collectively. They're going to have to think long and hard about what their next moves are to put themselves in position to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But you got to give credit to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They were prepared. Anthony Edwards, a guy that never won a playoff round, never won a playoff series. And he said he can't wait to get to USA Basketball to talk trash to Kevin Durant and Booker, reminding him of exactly what he did one April evening.
Now I hear you talking about superstar talk. Ant had 9 points in the first half and ended up with 40. Can we start calling him a superstar now?
Who are you asking?
I mean,
I didn't disrespect.
I mean, it's only us. It's only us.
I didn't say he wasn't.
I'm okay. Well, is he a superstar?
Yeah, he's a superstar. He's a franchise player that's carrying his team, and he's going to be one of the faces, if not the face of the league, at some point moving forward. So he's certainly a guy that you can give the title of superstar to. I got no problems with that. And I love the fact that he's not a superstar that's trying to make friends. He's not trying to be your boy. He's trying to kill you. He said, I'm trying to kill everything in front of me. And everything that you see in between those lines tells you that he didn't just say that as a punchline, as a catchphrase. He absolutely means it, and he stands behind it.
Yeah, that dude was hooping, man. He was going at them dudes. When he threw that dunk down in the fourth, I had to jump off my couch. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that got me off my seat.
I agree, but what bothers me is 2 minutes earlier, the dude tweaked his ankle and laying on the ground and like, so are you hurt or are you not hurt?
Y'all like this? We watching Jordan in real time. We just don't get to make up the stories because everything's in 4K.
Don't do that. We're not watching Jordan in real time. We're watching Anthony Edwards in real time, who's having a special run and is going to be one of the greats. And another guy you got to give credit to is Karl-Anthony Towns. I thought he did a great job, and even Anthony Edwards gave him credit in his post-game interview. He did a great job setting the tone offensively, being aggressive, being in attack mode, holding the fort down when Anthony Edwards struggled early on. It was a total team effort for the T-Wolves.
Yeah, them dudes playing good, man. Them dudes playing good. Even I want to give credit to Naz Reid coming off the bench and playing great minutes. That's an unbelievable dude to have coming off your bench as a support role.
Gives you such versatility. His 6th Man of the Year award, has the ability to play the 4 out of 5, is skilled enough to handle the basketball, shoot the long ball, post up. He's had an outstanding, not just series, but an entire season. He's playing with a lot of confidence and is a key piece to the future of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
All right, man. So this is the first playoff series win for the Timberwolves in 20 years. They get to either face the Nuggets or the Lakers. If you're the Timberwolves, who are you hoping to face?
I don't hope and wish for anybody. Whoever comes out of that series, we're going to be ready and prepared to handle. Be careful what you ask for. I told you before, there was a time when we asked for a hobbled team when I was playing. Team was hurt, didn't have their superstar. We asked for them. We wound up getting sent home. When obviously the other team that was the option would have been a better option or given us a chance, but we wound up losing, so we got just what we asked for. So I learned from that point, don't ask for anybody. Take care of your business. What I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves do get with sweeping the Phoenix Suns that's more valuable than who's next is a rest period. Opportunity to recoup, recover, and heal, and be prepared going 100% when the next series starts, whether it's the Denver Nuggets or the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to have their hands full and playing against some all-time greats.
All right, man. With the Suns heading to Cancun, going on vacation, their season is done. What do you do moving forward? They're locked into these contracts. They don't have many draft picks going forward. What's your plan of attack if you're a part of this Suns organization?
Well, they're going to have to huddle up and make some decisions. They don't have draft picks, first-round draft picks moving forward for quite a while. I don't know when exactly, but it's no time soon. Try to find a way to get a pick, get some young talent, get some second-round picks. I think you definitely entertain whether you want to mix things up. Bradley Beal, put him on the table, see what you can get. Uh, build up that supporting cast where guys are shooters and willing to do the dirty work, the gritty, grindy stuff that you don't have to put pressure on. You put a demand on Durant and Booker and whoever else is left to do it, but that's not what you expect them to do every single night. That's somebody else's job. But they gotta build an entire roster that supports what Durant and Booker bring to the table, and if Beal's there, what Beal brings to the table. I thought they got outworked, they got outcompeted. So you got to surround them with guys that's going to do the grit, grindy stuff that puts you in position to win ball games come April, May, and June.
Yeah, if I look at this stat sheet and I see Devin Booker and Kevin Durant getting you over 80 points with good shooting percentage, I'm thinking we should be in position to win this game. And they were, but for them to be swept is it's unacceptable.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And you gotta. They're just too finesse for me, and I think it was a build up the entire year. And when they got Bradley Beal, they thought, okay, we're more talented than everybody. We got a trio that matches anybody in the league. That doesn't matter. You have to have the correct habits, the right approach, the right defensive mentality, especially in 2024, where you got to contain these incredible offensive weapons at the perimeter spot and the shooting ability of these stretch fours and stretch fives. They put so much pressure on your defense. So if you don't defend, it's awfully tough unless you're rolling for a whole month and a half, 2 months offensively. It's awfully tough to advance. They got to take pride defensively. I thought Grayson Allen was a tough loss because of his toughness and his ability to shoot the basketball. So they did miss him. And he's a piece that I like moving forward that brings an edge, brings a toughness, and brings a competitive spirit that can be contagious throughout that locker room.
Now, we give credit to LeBron for doing these type of things at his age, but watching Kevin Durant still play at this level, it's unbelievable. Just the offensive talent that he is, not even just offensively, he's making plays and competing on the defensive end as well. Can you just speak to just how unbelievable it is to see this dude keeping it going after this long?
Well, it's incredible, and he's doing it as he's always done it, in an effective, efficient way. You look at his numbers. It doesn't take 40 shots. He takes shots that's given to him. They run a little bit of offense through him, takes high percentage shots, gets to the free throw line. And the thing is not as impressive as LeBron's run, but you think about it. Kevin Durant has had major surgeries that he had to bounce back from. And it seems like even though he's lost a little bit, he hasn't lost much. So you don't see the effects of the wear and tear of the surgeries. He's got plenty left in the tank and still is a high and impactful player. It's just about putting the right pieces around him.
Yeah, man. Kevin Durant, that's the people's champ. It's the reason why Ant-Man said he was his favorite player, man. We all watched KD growing up and all appreciate his game. So
that being said, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that being said, he's got to be disappointed going home. That's frustrating.
Especially
for a guy that put the amount of work in that he puts in, along with Booker, and it's frustrating. You're sitting in the locker room right now. What's my next move? The season's over with. We're not getting together and practicing tomorrow. The season is over with.
Yeah. See, I was trying to end it on a nice note and show KD some love while we got off the Suns, but you want to bring it back. It's a wrap. What do you do next?
Just keep it real records, man.
All right, man. You already know what time it is. We got to go to the greatest city in the world, New York City, and talk about what the Knicks did tonight and Jalen Brunson putting up these numbers. What happened? What's up, man?
Rick Brunson's son is the real deal. Jalen Brunson is an incredible basketball player that has all-time great footwork from the point guard position. There's probably 3 guys I put in the class as far as footwork from the point guard position of Jalen Brunson. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson. The footwork, the craftiness, the deceptive lull you to sleep, and then the burst of energy, the burst of speed. He is tough to defend. You put a smaller guy on him, he's a Rottweiler, he's a pit bull, he goes through him. You put a bigger guy on him, use that speed and slickness to avoid the size and the ability to block shots. Terrific finisher, shooter, floater. He's got the entire package, and it was clicking on all cylinders in Philadelphia today. It was an unbelievable performance. You think about it. The New York Knicks, the history of the New York Knicks, championships, great players, guys hanging up in the rafters, all-time great players, Hall of Famers, you name them, they've got them. And Jalen Brunson broke the all-time Knicks playoff scoring record in Philadelphia today for a single game. 47 points, 10 assists, and every big play that mattered. It was a spectacular performance, and it was fun to watch.
No, that dude is tough, man. That dude is tough. I can't even. This morning, I gotta keep it real. This morning when I was in church while the game was going on, and I was in church, I was watching it on the low, looking at it, and I reacted one time when Jalen Brunson made a move. I was like, ooh. And I think the pastor thought I was reacting to him, and it got him going a little bit. So I just played it off. I was like, yeah, but that boy was cooking. Was cooking.
Did you just admit that?
Huh?
Did you just admit that?
What happened? What you mean? It wasn't.
Oh my goodness, man! It's unbelievable.
Look. If it make it any better, it was a video playing while I was looking, so it was okay. It was live. It was a stream. So is that okay?
That's not how you was raised, man.
That's you're right. That's why I said let's just cut that part out.
No, we keeping it.
I would never do that.
The pastor thought you was giving him an amen.
No, it was must watch TV. Once I saw him getting those numbers like that, I'm like, hold on, I gotta watch this. And when I tuned in, you're right. His footwork, his ability to create shots at his size is unbelievable. And I saw Kelly Oubre after the game say, okay, the dude shot something along the lines of, let me not put words in his mouth, but basically the dude shot 34 shots. If you give anybody who can score that many shot attempts, it's only a matter of time before they go off. I don't need to hear that. The dude just almost dropped 50 points in Philadelphia. What do you have to say about that? That's what
I don't even need to comment on that. The dude was 18 for 34, so he was efficient. Shot over 50%. Got to the free throw line. Had 10 assists. They had no answer for him. And that was the frustrating part to me. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, you look at that Knicks lineup on the floor. They were struggling offensively. The only guy that can hurt you with the ball in his hands is Jalen Brunson. That's the only guy that could hurt you in that ball game. No adjustment was made to make him uncomfortable, to blitz him, to hit him, to double team him, to get two guys on him and force him to get rid of the basketball and force somebody else to make a play. They allowed him to get a rhythm, one-on-one, no matter who it was. They allowed him to play one-on-one, whether it was a bigger guy or a smaller guy. He won the battle on his terms. It was disappointing, the defense played by the Philadelphia 76ers and the lack of adjustments to get the ball out of Brunson's hands. Hopefully they do that moving forward. If they don't, then this series will be over. But it's a spectacular performance, and take nothing away from the job done by Jalen Brunson. I don't care how many. Then what does Kelly Oubre say about Allen Iverson, who shot 30-something times and still got numbers? He is an all-time great. He's a legend. Don't disrespect the work done by Jalen Brunson just because one morning in Philadelphia at the end of April, he gave your team the absolute business.
My thing is Kelly Oubre be chucking shots too, so he shouldn't be the one saying that. He's a scorer too. He should understand, man. Come on.
No, he's just salty that he's not allowed to get up 34 of them things.
Oh, I understand. Now that you put it like that, I feel him. But speaking of this,
you know what? One thing I want to say.
What's up?
How about the New York Knicks fans that showed up in Philadelphia?
Yeah,
that game sounded like it was being played in Madison Square Garden, not in Philadelphia. Yeah. I played at least 3 series in Philadelphia where the fans was incredible. The live band jamming and the fans was loud, and it was unbelievable, an unbelievable environment. They had to be disappointed with the response of the fans because I don't know how all those Knicks fans got tickets, but they made their presence felt and made their voices heard, and it was an unbelievable performance, not only by the Knicks players, but the Knicks fans.
Nah, definitely. What you mean you don't know how they got the tickets? We making money. What you mean? The city, people make money in the city. We travel, the show travels.
Everybody not making money like that, man.
Nah, but they just go. This is their team. We've been waiting for the Knicks to make the play. I'm not gonna say we because I'm not gonna jump on a bandwagon. But they've been waiting for the Knicks to make to the playoffs and be competitive for so long. Yeah, I'm gonna buy tickets and take a drive to Philly.
Yeah, but it's not as simple as buying tickets and taking a drive to Philly. We sell out every night. How did that many Knicks fans have the ability to get tickets? That's my question. Somebody sold them tickets. Sixer fans sold them tickets to be in that arena making that type of noise.
Yeah, what can you say, man? The Knicks fans they went and got it out the mud. They went and got it. I didn't know because I can't really I heard Embiid after the game talking about it, and I didn't even really like how he was so disappointed in the Philly fans and all. I get it. I'm disappointed in them too, but I don't need to hear that right after the game. It's not the fans' fault.
I agree.
It's not the fans' fault.
I don't need Miles McBride elevating at the three-point line and the crowd yelling "Deuce." Are you kidding me? We in Philly. We in Philly.
No, you're right. You're right. It was out of control. It was out of control. But I'm looking at this Knicks team, and it's not just Jalen Brunson. It's not just OG. I'm looking at Hartenstein, DiVincenzo. I'm looking at Josh Hart, McBride. From top to bottom, these dudes came off the bench and competed. Even Tibbs was able to call down the bench and say, Precious, get over here. And he came in the game and competed and brought defense and a grit to him. What this is crazy to see what this Knicks team has turned into.
A bunch of dudes that compete. They have a culture of great competitors that defend, take pride in showing up and getting it done. And they certainly did just that. Miles McBride was spectacular. DiVincenzo struggled shooting the basketball. They brought in McBride for defensive purposes, made a couple of big threes to close the gap. You're talking about Josh Hart struggling offensively, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, 17 rebounds. I mean, it was a total team effort. You can fall in love with the 47 by Brunson, and you can lose sight of the little things that put you in position to win. The battling of Joel Embiid, OG Anunoby, he was spectacular defending. I thought when they were struggling to score, he put his head down, attacked the rim, got some baskets going, gained some confidence, some momentum, held the fort down for his team, and just a spectacular total team effort and something to build on moving forward. We don't have to be at our best individually. We just have to compete at a high level, and it doesn't matter where we play them. We lock in on the defensive end, this series will be over.
All right, man. I'm watching that game, and one thing that stood out to me was Philly looked tired, dead tired, exhausted. And we know that Embiid is playing through these physical ailments. But did you see that? Did you notice that in this game tonight, or am I tripping?
I thought in the first half, Philadelphia, you can tell the extra effort, the multiple effort chasing down rebounds, securing the basketball off the defensive stops. It came a point where I got sick and I got physically sick watching how many offensive rebounds the Knicks wound up getting. Long rebounds underneath the rim, extra effort plays. The 50-50 balls went all to the Knicks because of their effort. And you think about it, it boils down to I lost a opportunity to win a championship and go to the finals off of a jump ball between a 7'4" guy and a 6'9" guy. So we had the advantage. We lost a jump ball. You think all the other things matter? Sometimes it boils down to one play, a long rebound, a defensive rebound, offensive rebound, a charge, a rotation, a jump ball. You lose sight of those things, and that's what the Knicks was able to do. The little things, the intangibles, the dirty things that they were willing to get dirty and hit the deck. Philadelphia, when it mattered most, they did not, and that's why the New York Knicks won this ball game.
Yeah, man, that's one of the things that I noticed too. 52-42 on the board and 15 offensive rebounds for a team that their biggest rebounding threat is injured. And we looking at Josh Hart. This was a Josh Hart, Dennis Rodman game. This is it's unacceptable, man. And I understand that Embiid is under 100%, but this is unacceptable as a team that was supposed to compete this year deep into the playoffs.
And the series is not over. When you think about it, the Knicks are undersized and they're outworking and getting these rebounds. At every position, the Philadelphia 76ers, they're bigger. And you're talking about going deep. The Knicks played 7-8 dudes. And one of those 8 dudes got injured a minute into the ball game in Bogdanovich. So if you press the gas pedal and play with more force and compete, you will wear them down physically. You will wear them down. If you force the ball out of the hands of Jalen Brunson, he's playing 40-something minutes and trying to make every play. Take the ball out of his hands, increase the volume, and force them to respond when they're tired. Now you got to take those shots when you're tired. Now you got to chase after that rebound when you're tired. Puts more pressure on you to stop us defensively.
All right, man. So let's go to your other team. Unless there's anything else you want to close out on with the Knicks. Anything else you want to say?
No, just a great victory. A great victory.
Right.
I see a lot of people saying orange and blue skies, and rightfully so. Now the thing is, can they finish it? Can they finish the deal? Can they seal the deal back home in New York?
You think they're gonna finish it?
I'm going to say yes. They're up 3-1. They've outplayed them, and they took care of business in a tough, hard-fought game, much-needed victory. They wound up winning in Philadelphia. They took care of business. Now they got all the momentum. It won't be Philadelphia fans you hear in Madison Square Garden. It's going to be New York Knicks fans. They're going to be loud and proud and welcome that team back and encourage them to finish it.
Speaking of taking care of business, you already know your former team, the Indiana Pacers, is my TCB team of the night because they took care of business and they handled it, man. What did you see from your former team?
Inspired basketball. I saw them competing. I saw them defending. I saw them imposing their will. I saw them executing on the offensive end. I saw them playing the brand of basketball that they played all year long, where they play with tremendous force, tremendous pace, where they're aggressive shooting the three, where they're aggressive in transition. And again, Halliburton was special. You can't underestimate the job by Miles Turner that he did, shooting the three, rebounding, protecting the paint area. It was a total team effort. And that's just I tell you, I would not want to face that team. They put a demand on you physically with their brand of basketball.
Yeah. Now, what I want to ask is that when I was growing up playing basketball, I was always taught live by the three, die by the three. But in today's brand of game, it seems like everybody is shooting threes to their heart's content. Tonight, the Pacers shot 22 threes. What do you have to say about this belief that living by the three and dying by the three is a real thing?
It's a real thing. And but I will say the difference with when that statement was originated is now we're talking about volume threes. All of a sudden, teams are shooting a whole lot of threes, and it's not a low percentage shot because these guys put the time in, working on their craft, off days, before the games, after the games, in the gym. These are great, great shooters. You got a 7-footer in Miles Turner that's a rim protector that's in the discussion for Defense Player of the Year, stepping out the three-point line comfortably, shooting the basketball, and being encouraged to shoot the basketball. You're designing plays for that guy to shoot the basketball, and rightfully so. So it's a different time, and it puts so much pressure on your defense. They spread the floor, they push it in transition. You have a trailer that can shoot the three. You got guys in the corner that can shoot the three. You got the guy handling the basketball that shoots the three. So it puts so much pressure on your defense. And you look at that Pacer team, 6 guys in double figures today. 6 guys in double figures and 2 other guys with 8 points. That's a loaded offense.
Now, let me ask you, what would a second straight year of being put out in the first round of the playoffs mean for the Milwaukee Bucks moving forward?
Disappointment. I was fortunate enough to interview in the offseason last year for the Milwaukee Bucks head coaching job. And I know the discussion wasn't the first round of the playoffs. The discussion was winning it all and how were they going to go about doing just that. So it's disappointing. And you have to be good enough. You have to be clicking on all cylinders. And last but certainly not least, you have to be healthy. And the one thing that they're not healthy. Their 2 best players are out, and it's unfortunate because when they need it most, they're hampered and they're handcuffed. But they got to find a way to get some life and stop the bleeding. With the role players, I thought they competed, but they just don't have enough. They got one guy, similar to what we talked about with Jalen Brunson. They got one guy in Chris Middleton in uniform that has the ability to break a defense down with the ball in his hands by penetration, shooting, getting his spots. The one guy that's dangerous had a good day, but at the end of the day, it puts so much pressure on him to be special when you don't have a supporting cast. You look over, you don't have Dame Lillard or Giannis Antetokounmpo. It makes it easier for us to defend.
Yeah. Also, one thing that I want to point out, Bobby Portis, we already down. Why are you adding on to it by getting ejected early on in the game, dude? We can't afford you to not be in the game. What are you?
Can't happen.
What are we doing?
It can happen. And Bobby Portis is a veteran. That's a fan favorite in Milwaukee. They love him, and rightfully so. Great competitor. Has had a great career. Has played a huge part in making that Milwaukee Bucks franchise champions. How valuable he is off the bench and when called upon as a starter. But today in Indiana, inexcusable. He knows better. Own it and move forward. But that cannot happen. It's a disappointing day for Bobby Portis that he didn't remain calm, cool, and collective and found himself in the locker room when his team needed him to be in uniform on the court.
Yeah, if they was holding Giannis for any other time, he got to play next game, or the season is a wrap.
No. If he's not 100%, you gotta find a way to try to win without him. Because if he's not 100%, it makes no sense to put him out there and then he misses a year of basketball. So sometimes you gotta, what you do in Vegas. Sometimes when I used to play blackjack years ago, you gotta surrender. Take some of your bet back and say, live to see another hand.
I feel that. Okay. So another crazy game we saw was the Clippers. They blew a 31-point lead, but still ended up coming out with the win and tying the series 2-2. What did you see tonight from this Clippers team without their star, Kawhi Leonard?
If I can turn back time, I tell you, I saw James Harden and Paul George turn back time and let their hair down. They became aggressive. They became the scorers, the gifted offensive weapons that they've always been their entire career. He wasn't worried about getting another guy involved or playing passive basketball. They were aggressive. And the problem with the Dallas Mavericks, they allowed those guys to gain a rhythm offensively early, and they were a nightmare to defend. And I thought down the stretch, having an opportunity to put the ball in those guys' hands, especially James Harden. Paul George made a huge three in the corner, but James Harden, in pick and roll and isolations, I thought it was horrible defense, shading him one way, sitting and sending a certain direction. When you talk about all-time great offensive weapons, you got to play them square. You got to play them square up and live with the results. You give a guy an angle, he was able to get to that left hand or get to the right hand, get back to the left. And how many times we saw that beautiful teardrop floater in traffic? Huge performance by both of those guys.
Vintage, man, vintage. How about that shot by Paul George in the corner? That wasn't crazy?
That was ridiculous.
Crazy.
That was ridiculous. You can't play better defense. And it wasn't like I've seen you shoot some of those shots, and I'm like, that's luck. And then you come down with a swag like you know is good. I'm like, that's crazy. That's how Paul George did it. Elevated, falling, leaning back, perfect arc, nothing but net. And when it released from his hand, you can tell he believed it was money. It is the shot making in 2024 is unmatched.
No, and they swag was on 100. Paul George had about 6 different celebrations going up and down the court, different things he was doing after his buckets. That was hilarious, man. What was the biggest issue that you saw from the Mavs tonight?
Being down 31. They didn't play with the same intensity defensively. They didn't have the same game plan discipline that they had in the previous game, and they allowed Paul George and James Harden to establish rhythm, to get downhill. They allowed that Clipper team to get life, and then it was a different animal to deal with. Now all of a sudden, you got to exert all your energy and effort to climb back into the ball game, to eat up that 31-point deficit, and then all of a sudden you got nothing left. Your tank is empty because you've used all the energy and effort to get back into the ball game. And when it mattered most in tie ball games, the Clippers was the one that had some reserved in their tank. And they closed the deal where the Mavericks was searching.
All right, I was watching this game. I saw a lot of flopping tonight. So I thought of this. Who is your greatest flopper of all time? We got James Harden, we got Kyle Lowry, we got Chris Paul, Manu.
Off the top of my head, I will say James Harden, Manu Ginobili, Chris Paul.
All right.
I would probably say those three guys. I might be forgetting somebody because you asked me that off the top of my head, but those three clearly are in the discussion for all-time floppers. And Vlade Divac.
Oh, Vlade Divac's up there?
Absolutely.
All right. That Vlade got some classic flops. He's definitely up there. He got to be. All right, man. So one last question. I want to know, I already know Jalen Brunson is probably the front runner for it, but I just want to know who is the Momma, There Goes That Man award recipient for tonight, Pops.
I know I did a promo earlier, and I know I talked about Jalen Brunson being the front runner. The gap has closed, and therefore, for the very first time in the history of giving this award, there are two winners, Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards. Jalen Brunson because of what he did in Philadelphia this morning, winning a basketball game, shattering a Knicks all-time playoff scoring record, the great history of the New York Knicks. He's on top of it now. And Ant Edwards, what he did sending 3 future Hall of Famers home in an emphatic way, sweeping Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal in Phoenix. I have to say, to Brunson and Edwards, congratulations. Momma, there goes that man.
There we go. All right. I'm glad. I was hoping you was about to say Momma, There Goes Those Men. It was too corny. It was corny. Yeah, it don't have the same ring to it. I'm glad we're on the same page. I was like, don't say it.
I saw you leaning up. I was like, nah, I can't do it.
All right. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Underdog Fantasy. They keeping the lights on. Scan the QR code in the corner and play the pick'em game. That's our favorite. Oh, don't forget, they're matching a deposit of up to $100 if you use the promo code MARK. Appreciate y'all.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Mark Jackson Show. I'm Mark Jackson. This is my guy, Bluu. We're on the Come and Talk to Me network. Thank you so much for your love and support. Remember, I'm watching these playoff teams down 3-0, down 3-1, fighting for their playoff lives. I'm also watching you. Got a bad hand, can't pay a bill, got a bad health report, fighting for your life. Old man once said, trust your insight over your eyesight. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you have everything it takes to turn this thing around. You are built and cut from a different cloth. We're pulling for you. Blessings.